Peter, what have been the achievements of IHE in the past years?
Okay, IHE is in the world for more than 15 years, as you know, and we do have a good integration now inside radiology departments. Next steps, which are already enabled in some countries but not at all, is communication across enterprises. We do need communication of images and reports throughout enterprises to improve the quality of service for patients. And that's a huge step, as shown here in Luxembourg, with the improvements in Luxembourg for e-communication, e-santé. And on the other side, IHE, especially in radiology, is interesting for improving quality and safety. As you may know, we do have the radiation exposure monitoring profile, which is a dedicated profile for radiology, for monitoring exposures and to have benchmarking about your quality of imaging. And a hot topic in radiology today, and there's a liaison between European Society of Radiology and RSNA, is about reporting. As you may have heard about structured reporting, which is already available for several years. Now we do report templates and getting these templates into radiology workflow to have better quality of reports, improving safety and quality of our work. That's really a hot topic.
Brilliant. Let us have the vendor's view on the achievements and further projects.
So one of the things that IHE does is we create profiles, not only for radiology, but also for cardiology, pathology, and all kinds of other ologies that you might have within the hospitals. But we also have an ITI framework that describes how patient information can be exchanged within hospitals using the XDS, the cross-enterprise document sharing infrastructure that we also defined as IHE. The profiles describe what standard communication systems can be used and how we can integrate them to create profiles that solve real-life solutions in hospitals and in regions where hospitals want to change documents, images, etc., patient information in between hospitals so that, let's say, physicians in and outside the hospital can reach them. One of the things that we achieved also through connectathons is that a lot of vendors adopt the profiles and the standards use the way that we provide them, and we document them, and they implement software that is solving these problems, and we are testing these here at the Connectathon. For instance, there's almost 80 companies that are here together to test all their software to see whether all the profiles actually integrate and the software is really working. So they bring the software from their home office to this Connectathon. There are 300 engineers here that work together as a team, not as, let's say, competitors, but as collaborators to see whether the software is working. And through that, they can actually make sure that whenever a hospital is buying software for a certain use, it will also be actually working. So that's one of the benefits that we have. One of the other things that we are working on is that we are also going to certify software, so released software, to show that it actually is passing all the tests and is ready for use.
I would like to add this, it's very important to have these profiles, and we try to educate users and administrations to use profiles for procurement processes. Because if you are using an IHE profile, it's much easier for companies to understand what is requested by users, and it's much easier to develop tools according to such profiles, and not to develop different solutions for different countries, which is costly and mostly not really good work.
Exactly.
Peter, have you spoken to the engineers and the monitors here at the Connectathon? What's your impression? How is it developing in 2015 here in Luxembourg?
I think we do have a stable development. We do have a lot of systems coming from ITI, IT infrastructure and radiology. We see some systems for lab and cardiology, but we would expect to improve these domains over the next year. We know there's a lot of interest in e-prescription, like here in Luxembourg, in Austria, in Switzerland, and also in Germany. It's now coming. So e-prescription is already solved inside IHE, so it's ready to use. And we would encourage companies to adopt this process through IHE and to go for the Connectathon probably next year in Bochum in Germany. Would like to invite the companies to be present there. And also for cardiology, you know, telecardiology, telemonitoring is an issue, especially for countries which have not so many physicians available throughout the country, in rural countries. So it is an opportunity in cardiology, as we heard, and it's an opportunity to start for cardiology again.
So one of the things that I want to mention is Connectathons are going on in many places in the world, not only here in Europe, but also in the North Americas, of course in Europe, all over Europe, and also in Asia. It's a traveling event, and I think it's very good for Luxembourg that we have it so nicely in the center of Europe, where everybody is easy to come over and do all the testing here. So we have a good attendance, everything is working out fine, also technically, so we want to thank the Luxembourg organization for having us and for the excellent way that they organize everything.
So you've mentioned the conformity assessment. How is the user going to benefit from that?
Okay, you know, Connectathon is good to test solutions, but Connectathon is not usually testing final products. And as a user, you expect to have a product which is complying to specifications. And the expectation from users and also from companies, I suppose, is to have not a certification so far, but a little bit more consensus about the functionality and what system will have available within a dedicated solution.
Exactly. So to amend to what Peter says, it happened in the past perhaps that people went to the Connectathon, but of course not everything that was tested ended up in, let's say, the available releases that are installed, let's say, in the year after the Connectathon. And by certifying released products, we are solving this problem.